what's up?
Hey, long time. First off, I want to thank you for everything you've done for the last since I've been listening to you since the Obama years, and you're a true patriot. And so I got a couple things I want to tell you. You know, what I don't understand is we went from pillars with Obama, filling stadiums and Bernie filling stadiums to where we can't. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, like Obama put us back on track. Okay, he put us back on track from that depression, recession, everything. You know, got us back on track
from Bush. Yeah.
Right. So hear me out when I say this, okay? And then again, I don't want Bernie to run now, okay? But the Democratic Party needs to take responsibility of that. They've had so many opportunities, Parkland shooting, all these to get young voters to go to these schools. You know, all the tragedies that happened, January 6th, anything to get people involved and whatever, and they've done nothing. I'm sorry.
Well, they haven't done nothing. I mean, Biden got pushed through and signed into law, arguably the first and really most emphatic gun control legislation in 25 years. I mean, it wasn't everything, but it was a start.
Tom, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting people engaged, enrolled. Yeah. You can go out there, the Me Too movement. What happened to the women? Those Me Too movement after the march? They should have been in. That march was worthless unless you're enrolling new women voters or young voters at 18 years old ready to vote. All these marches mean nothing unless we get new voters to come out.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I miss the old days of Anthony Weiner and stuff. I know we got Crockett now, we got Jamie Raskin, and we got some, but we don't have a bench. We don't have a bench, Tom.
Yeah.
And the Democratic Party is holding on to yesteryear the Wall Street Democrats and stuff. They won't hand off the baton to the newer generation. And Americans are tired. And this is why we're not getting our tent bigger, is because they won't let go. You know, I'm tired of the excuses from the Democratic Party. Now, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, okay? But when do we start holding them accountable?
Yeah.
This should be a landslide victory for Biden.
Yeah. Tell me when you're done, Casey, and I'll respond.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just got a little passionate. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Number one, Barack Obama was a once-in-a-generation orator. I wasn't a huge fan of how he was president. He is a neoliberal. His presidency was far more corporate than Joe Biden's been. Joe Biden is trying to break up big monopolies right now. Obama wouldn't do that. Joe Biden is pushing, to strengthen Medicare and Medicaid and programs like that. Biden wanted corporate health insurance, Obama wanted Obamacare, things like that. But he was a brilliant orator. So, yeah, he could fill a stadium. Bernie was both a brilliant orator and, has the policies that I think America wants and needs. And frankly, I think that, Gavin Newsom may be coming along behind them. But the Democratic Party, when they were looking at the probability of coming up against Donald Trump, knew that Joe Biden had already beaten Donald Trump by 7 million votes. And is that the time that you say, okay, well, let's take a chance. Let's throw it open to a Democratic primary and let a bunch of people come in here and fight with each other and air the party's dirty laundry as we're going into an election that might mean the end of democracy in America. And so what they did was the conservative or the safest course, which was this guy's already beaten Trump. We know he can do it. So let's have him do it again. I don't disagree with that. I think that a primary would have been, frankly, a disaster. And
but respectfully, Tom, Bernie was filling stadiums where Hillary Clinton couldn't fill a town hall.
I was a big fan of Bernie. I was pushing for Bernie right up until he said, okay, I'm throwing the towel in. Y'all need to get behind Hillary. And then I got behind Hillary. But I was one of the most outspoken. In fact, I lost friends over that. I had a former co-host on one of my radio shows who won't talk to me anymore because he thinks that because I supported Bernie, it cost Hillary the election, which I think is BS, but nonetheless.
But Tom, the people, we had the young voters.
Casey, here's the deal. If you want young voters, if you want to engage people, it's going to have to be people like you who do it. Show up at your local Democratic Party, invite your young friends in, get people engaged, It's not going to come from the top down. It's going to come from the bottom up. It always does. Bernie came from the bottom up. In fact, the top down was opposed to Bernie, as you well know. So, you know, it's got to be, we are the people we are waiting for to throw out the old cliche. And we've got to do it. You know, sitting around and complaining about the Democratic Party and saying, when are they going to let go? They're going to let go when we pry their fingers off things, when enough of us show up. And frankly, it's happening all across the country right now. Joe Biden's not going to be running for president in 2028. There's no way. And look at, you mentioned Jasmine Crockett. I mean, there are some great people in the Democratic Party, young people in the Democratic Party right now. Ruben Gallego in Arizona coming up. I mean, there's a bunch of them. And like I said, I think that I think the 28 primary is going to be fascinating because I am waiting for the governor of California to step into this thing and see where he's going to go with it. But Casey,
Tom, it wasn't democracy. But it's not democracy what the Democrats did when they rigged the primary again.
That is democracy, and you can say that they rigged the primary, but I'm not going to go there. Casey, thank you for the call.